Let me introduce myself briefly. I'm Santosh Kavre, working as an additional executive engineer in MSc TCL Mumbai. So I did my B MTech in power system, and especially I did my this dissertation in voltage source converter based technology. And from 16 years, I'm working in the field of power transmission, then HVDC transmission, and now working at State Load Dispatch Center, and some area of up to 33 kV at Padghe substation. I already handled distribution also. So overall, as a power system, I worked in transmission, some area of distribution, and then HVDC, plus now power system operation, that is the responsibility of load dispatch. So all are welcome here in the free webinar on guidance regarding projects, dissertations, and thesis. So within these 16 years of field experience, whatever practical knowledge I got here, and the practical, that is the difficulties we are coming on the field, so that I will going to discuss, and how with this practical approach, how your project, dissertation, or thesis you can complete. When you go for any, we can say, theoretical topic, study areas, so that may be sometimes not that much valuable. But whenever you go with some industries and you work with them, and then you do your projects, so that will be validated. So it is better to work with industry rather than going for the only study projects. You can go for study project also, there is no issue, but you must have some solid data with you, practical data from the field. If you are having, then you can work on that also, there is no issue. Just a minute, there is an issue of screen here. Okay, so we'll go one by one. What are the actually current areas or topics which are, we can say, more now there is a more modern technologies that we can use in a power system. So what are the recent trends that we'll discuss? So in this session, I will first give you whatever the topics that are present in transmission, distribution, and generation, as well as in the field of that is a load dispatch. So we'll discuss that, and in the latter stage and the last, we will having a question answer session where you can discuss with any topic, and whatever topics you chosen, that also we can discuss. So that will be, I will unmute to all at the last, and then we will having a discussion. So we will go one by one. There are so many topics, emerging technologies are there. So we'll go with this. What are those technologies? Now in power system, that is the phasor measurement unit, PMU technology. That is now we can say it is WAMS also, wide area management system. So we know that in our power system at any plant level, or we can say substation level, we are having SCADA system, that is supervisory control and data acquisition system. But we are having the fastest technology, which is based on the speed of light. We know that the PMU technology works with the speed of light. So that is with the help of fiber optics communication it works. And that's why we are getting so many benefits here, because here we get the magnitude as well as the angle of the quantity here. So it is the fastest where we get quantities directly electrical quantities measurement in our power system. So based on these PMUs, that is phasor measurement unit, this is the recent technology. So we can go for the special protection systems. So we are having one plan, that is, if you take the case of Maharashtra grid, so you can go for this PMU application, that is phasor measurement unit applications. You can use the PMUs and design special protection scheme, because we know that if we get the values and angles in the real time, so we can avoid any fault also. That is, we can take the action before happening of the fault. So these are the special protection system we can design into our grid. Then we are having Indian grid safety by using GPS technology. That GPS you can use for the Indian grid safety. That is, we know that there are so many hackers in the world, and they always hack the important data of any utility, especially for power sector. That is a more harmful area now. So they attacked on our grids, and our generation, transmission or distribution, anything can be, and even load dispatch can also affect. So you can, by using the GPS technology, you can do the grid safety, Indian grid safety. Then by using the drones, so you can inspect. We know that people go for patrolling when there is a fault on HVDC lines or EHV lines. Especially these lines are in hilly area, and it is very difficult to people go for patrolling and do inspection, and it takes times also. So the restoration is very much critical. So by using the drones, you can actually inspect, patrol, and will get the benefit of that. That also you can use. Then HVDC hotline equipments, that is, we know that in EHV level, we are hotline maintenance. So that same technology, you can go for HVDC system equipments and line, because China is claiming that they have developed the hotline technology for HVDC system, but still there is a scope, because that is not fully developed. So you can work in this area, how to do hotline maintenance of the HVDC system, what equipments I can use, safety devices, how the people can be trained. So all these things you can do here in the hotline maintenance of the HVDC system. Then we are having a unified real-time dynamic state measurement, that is URTDSM technology for Indian grid. The first phase of this is already implemented. In this, some of the major stations, that is, we can say substations at 400 kV, 765 kV level, Power Grid has already installed the URTDSM system. So some of the substations from Maharashtra also. So at SLDC we are having this URTDSM system. So that was the first phase. Now they are going for the implementation of the second phase. So you can work on this. That is unified real-time dynamic state measurement, based on the PMUs, that is phasor measurement units. So this is the very latest technology for the Indian grids. Then we are having we know that there are the limitations with the renewable energy sources. These are very fluctuating nature of sources. So we have to manage their forecasting and scheduling. So for that, REMC centers are established in India. So one of REMC center is installed in Maharashtra. One is in Gujarat, then other in, we can say, at MP, Madhya Pradesh. In southern region also there are. So these are the REMC centers. So how we can manage the renewable energy sources with the efficient manner, how we can do the forecasting and scheduling of that. So that is we can do some work here also. Then we are having, if we take the case of voltage source converter HVDC, so there are the development of DC circuit breakers is going on. So ABB claimed that they have developed hybrid DC breaker. Actually, perfect DC is very critical to develop perfect DC breaker. So ABB is saying that they have developed the hybrid DC breakers. So you can work on this. This is also emerging technology nowadays. DC breakers, and you can use for the VSC HVDC system, where by using the DC breakers you can form the DC grids based on the voltage source converter technology. Then you can go for the measuring equipments like CTs, PTs, CVTs, that is the measuring devices in the power system. You can now presently we are using oil filled. So you can go for the new technology that is SF6 based. So you can work on this. Then in EHV substations, we are having the for the measurement equipments, I already told you, PT, CVTs, then CVTs are there, and CTs. So you can go for the new technology that is optical current transformers or transducers. You can use the optical current transducers for the measurement of that is voltage, that is currents particularly. So you can work on these optical current transformers for EHV substations. Then we are having the, for harmonic measurement, we have to use an analyzer, harmonic analyzer, like portable devices. So why we should not go for the direct installment of one of the harmonic CT? So harmonic CTs can be developed, and those CTs you install so that in your substation itself or at the distribution level also you can measure the harmonic, because now we are talking about the power quality. So for the measurement is the issue for the that is the harmonics. So you can design the harmonic CTs. These are known as HCTs. So this is also one of the area you can work there. Then in electrical power system, for the measuring devices, you can use the piezoelectric material devices. You can work on this piezoelectric technology. By using this material, you can go for the development of measuring devices like CTs, PTs, and CTs. Then you can go for the power transformers at EHV levels. Presently, we are having oil-filled transformers, oil-cooled transformers, but we can go for the SF6 types of power transformers. So you can work in this area also. Then nowadays, as a smart grid, the concept of smart grid, we are having substation automation. So in substation automation, you can go for the artificial intelligence. Nowadays, everyone is talking about artificial intelligence, like car, robotics, and all those things. So likewise, we can do application of artificial intelligence in our substation automation. Then we can design the islanding schemes. When islanding schemes be used, whenever there is a critical situation in the grid or major blackout, in that condition, islanding schemes operate. So in Maharashtra grid or any grid, you can use the artificial intelligence technology to design an islanding scheme. So you can work on this also. Then PMUs, I was talking about the PMUs, that is phasor measurement units. Now people are taking these PMUs, these are very costly. So they are actually purchasing and cost is more, but there is a possibility that whatever we are having the numerical relays, so in that numerical relays itself, you can develop one software, so that will take care of the PMUs. So this is also one of the area where you can work with the numerical relays and you can develop some softwares like that, so that it can be used as a PMU. Or ready-made PMUs and integrated with numerical relays, that also you can develop. Then we can integrate or connect with the other grid of other countries, we can say neighboring countries. Like already we are connected with the Bangladesh with their back-to-back HVDC. Then we are planning to connect with the Sri Lanka. So you can work in this area also. How one nation grid and others nation grid behavior will be, that you can show. So that this is also one of the area where you can work. Then strengthening of Indian grid. In Indian grid, now there is a application of voltage source converter based technology by Power Grid in the Pugalur project, plus minus 320 kV. So they are going to use voltage source converter based technology first time in India. So now the next version of voltage source converter technology is modular multi-level converter HVDC system. So you can go for studying what are the possibilities or what will be the impact of MMC HVDC in the power system. You can go in this area also. Then VSC HVDC, that is based on voltage source converters or IGBTs, you can feed the power to the Mumbai metropolitan region or any metropolitan cities. You can transmit bulk power because there are so many issues with the metropolitan regions. That is there is a restriction of right of way, so you cannot lay any transmission line like that. But by voltage source converter HVDC, you can feed or energize any metropolitan region. So feeding bulk power to Mumbai metropolitan region, that you can take as a one of the project by using the voltage source converter HVDC. Then we know that India is having 7,200 kilometer offshore field, offshore area. So there is a new technology for the wind, that is the formation of the offshore wind farms. You can install the windmills into the sea and we can harness the power. What is the advantage with this technology? We get 70% more power when we go, when we do installation in the sea. And continuous, there is a wind flow. So continuous, you will get the power. So you can harness the power. For sample point of view, you can choose like a Mumbai offshore area or Gujarat also. You can take any coastal area you can choose, and you can go for, you can study that area, that how we can install the offshore windmills there and how we can supply the power. So one case we can take that, that is the area near to coastal area, Mumbai. So you can install there, that is, you can study there. That is how much offshore power you can harness and feed to the Maharashtra grid, or you can locally supply to the Mumbai regions. So these are the some of the areas. Then smart grid pilot project. You know that there is a smart city project for the Pondicherry already implemented. So likewise, you can go for the another cities, like any cities. It is not a restriction that you should go for only one city. Whatever I am suggesting, you can go for any city. These are the only just examples I am giving. You can apply this for anywhere in the world. There is no issue. So smart grid pilot project, you can go for the Mumbai and Pune cities. This is also one of the area you can work. Then we know that in offshore oil field area is there at Bombay High near to Mumbai. So their platform is there. So you can supply power to that platform. This is one of the application of voltage source converter HVDC, where you can supply power to that offshore oil field. So this application you can use by using this voltage source converter HVDC. Then transmission line tower site survey by using GPS. This is also one of the good area where you can use by using the GPS technology. We know that there is a survey is a very critical issue whenever we install any transmission line or corridor. So for that you can take the use of GPS. So by using that, you can do the survey of transmission line tower. So this is also one of the area. Then whatever load dispatch centers, like we can say state load dispatch center, then there are regional load dispatch center, then there is a national load dispatch centers. So we can make these smart load dispatch centers. We can bring the concept of smart load dispatch centers. So how that we can make the current load dispatch center smart by using these different technologies like communication, then IT, computer, and power electronics. By using such smart technologies, how can we make the load dispatch center smart? So that one of the area. Then safety and security of the national, regional, and state load dispatch center. Safety and security by using artificial intelligence technology. Then improvement of Maharashtra grid. Any grid you can take, there is no issue where you are there. So any grid you can take and you can, what are the loopholes or what are the issues, current issues with that particular region, and how we can improve that. You can work on that also. Then economics of operation, merit order dispatch improvements, that is how the cost of generation can be reduced. In that area also you can work. Then load curve management, because we know that load is so we can say it's it is not easy to manage, because anytime there is a cutoff, it is that not we can predict the load curve. So by using the modern technologies, you can study the trends, how it was before 1 week, 1 month, or like that before some years, and like that you can work on this load curve management also. Then the most important area for the renewable energy, now the forecasting and scheduling, because forecasting of renewable, it's not a very easy task, because renewable is an intermittent source and depends on the nature. But how we can forecast and how we can schedule, how in advance we can give the scheduling to the generators. So for that, on the modern techniques you can work. So this already at SLDC this project is there, so you can work on this. Then automation of SLDCs, ALDCs, RLDC and NLDCs by using artificial intelligence technologies. You can go for the complete automation of these systems. Then modernization of SCADA and computer system at SLDC. Whatever, because all SLDCs are having a old SCADA system. So you can go for the new supervisory control and data acquisition system or computer system. You can suggest some improvement for any load dispatch center. Then commercial aspects of SLDC, ABT mechanism, how the commercially we can make it efficient, that is commercial benefits. So that you can work in this area also. That is next is the security aspect of grid operation and load control, how we can do secured operation. Then roadmap for formation of international grid. Every country, nearest country are trying to connect to their neighboring countries. So there in future, whole world will be connected by as a one grid. So you can make one roadmap that how one country can be connected to the others, and what will be the impact and all those things that you can work in these areas also. Now, Tesla's visionary dream was that wireless power transmission. See, if suppose this technology now, New Zealand is saying that they have developed this technology, wireless power transmission for certain distance on a bulk scale, they are saying that. But still that this technology is not that much matured. So anyone from your side can work on the wireless power transmission. This will be the, we can say, best technology in the future. All our tower lines, insulators, that cost we can save if we transmit the wireless power wirelessly. So this is also one of the project. Then design of gas insulated substations and lines. Some of the critical substations you can made it as gas filled, that is SF6 gas filled substations and lines. Then you can work on the that is the high temperature superconductors, superconductor technology, that is conductors and cables where high temperature superconductor material is used, that you can develop for the EHV as well as HVDC systems. Then control and monitoring of EHV substations by artificial intelligence. Why should people be there? Why should not be operated through remotely? So you can use the AI technology and you can do the control and monitoring of EHV substation, that is remote operations. So that is possible with the AI. Then power transformer health monitoring. We know that there are continuous gas production in inside the transformer. So that you can monitor by using the AI. So the healthiness of that power transformers can be monitored. So that area also you can work. Also you can develop some cameras, internal cameras, which will take the pictures from inside whatever is happening in the transformer, and that pictures, if you get outside and if you again do the analysis, so we'll have a gas analysis as well as actually if you take the pictures from inside during operation, so that will also one of the new contribution. Then powering Indian islands by offshore windmills, like Andaman, Nicobar, and these are the some islands we have. So you can, by taking the offshore wind, installing the offshore windmills, we can power those islands. Then load dispatch center data handling by using the AI for better performance. Because see, these all load dispatch centers are actually data centers. Means it is too much bulky data we handles, but that data is not processed at all. It is not that much we worked on that data. If we do some by using the AI, if we do something by handling this data and by some handling this data, you can improve the performance of the any load dispatch center. Then you can go for the one, that is the roadmap, that is how to make India as a power giant. What are the we have resources of generation, how we can properly plan it, and how we can become a power giant in the world. Then we are having some PMUs installed in MSCTCs, so but that system is still not that much in operation. So you can work on this PMU technology that is already installed we have. So you can work on this. Then transmission network analysis for better load dispatch center. So this application is there, that is a transmission network analysis for the better load dispatch. Then now this CERC has mandatory automatic generation control. Means your generators must be controlled automatically. The generation or the output of the generator should be governed from the load dispatch center. For that, CERC has compulsory made this. So you can work on this. There are some pilot projects are going on in India. That is a automatic generation control. So you can work on this also. Then India-Sri Lanka interconnector, how we can connect the practical way, that you can work on this. Power quality is one of the major issue in the power system. That by using the smart technologies, you can do this by using the smart technologies. There are so many smart technologies that you can use for the power quality improvement. Then ADMS for distribution system, automatic demand management system for distribution, that automatically you can manage the demand. So that ADMS system, that also we are working on that. So, and then women's safety by modern technology. This is one of the area you can work for the safety of women. There are some technologies where we can work. Then asset management by intelligent technology. We are already going for one of the project where all our substations will be monitored live. So that technology we are already implementing, that is known as asset management. And all the operations that will be done remotely at EHV 400 kV level also. So that where you can do the asset management by intelligent technologies. Then wireless power transmission you can use for the borders of India, where there is a many times supply cut off by the enemies. So you can use the wireless power transmission there, so that electricity will be maintained in any critical situation. Then URTDSM, that is we already seen, that is the second phase studies you can do in the second phase. Then solar based water purifier with pH control. By using the solar, you can purify the water, but pH value control, because nowadays people are preferring alkaline water. So by controlling the pH of the water, you can do this water purification. So here also one of the area you can work. Then international grid coding. Now in India, there is an Indian grid code. when there will be the formation of international grid, how the grid coding will be, how every country has to maintain the discipline of the grid. So that coding you can design. Then ultra high voltage sanitizer development. This is a small project where ultraviolet sanitizer you can develop to kill any we can say viruses and like that. This is small project. Then tapping of hydropower of NER. That is, we know that in the northeast region of India, there is a bulk hydropower available. Then how we can tap that hydropower? That also you can work on that. Then 1100 kV HVDC. That is the first country in the world. That is China has already installed 1100 kV HVDC. But in Indian grid, we don't having this 1100 kV HVDC or MMC or hybrid HVDC. So you can work, these are some of the emerging trends in the HVDC, 1100 kV, MMC and hybrid HVDC. Hybrid HVDC means at one end, there is a current source converter and at the other end, there is a voltage source converters. So that you can go for this also. Then avoiding corrosion issues in the HVDC. We know that whenever we use HVDC, there is a electrostation, so that there is a corrosion effect of the DC. So that how we can avoid the corrosion effect and its impact on the nearest gas pipeline, oil pipelines, and the railway tracks. That how we can avoid. So every we can say gas authority or oil authority, that already their protection system is there. But still, some of times these we can say DC currents which flows through the ground impact on their that is gas pipeline, oil pipeline, or railway tracks. So this is the major issue in HVDC. So you can go for this also, how to avoid corrosion issues in the HVDC. Then fault current limiter bus reactor. We know that if more generation is coming on any bus, so if fault happens, so there will be the huge fault current flow through that. And sometimes that is not sustained. So there are some fault current limiter reactors can be used for the buses at some of the stations. So you can go for this technology also. Very few applications are there. So you can use this also. Then power factor improvement. This panel you can design. Automatically you can control the power factor and you can improve the power factor. So that we can design the power factor improvement panel. Then harmonic mitigation by the IGBT based technology. By using the that is voltage source converter IGBTs, you can reduce the harmonics into the system, that you can design the filters based on IGBTs. Then fiber optic communication, that is also emerging technology as the PMUs take data from the fiber optics communication. So people are going for this development of fiber optic communication. And our present that is whatever PLCC communication, and that we are having the earth wires, that was old technology. Now we have already started replacing our earth wires with the OPGW, that is optical ground wires. So you can go for the OPGW technology, that is fiber optics communication. And that will open the doors that how we can use the transmission towers for the communication. And it is the fastest communication with the speed of light. So that will be the better for us. Then you can work on the how in the solar eclipse day, how it affects on the solar generation. That also one of the project you can work here. How solar eclipse can affect on the solar generation. Then detecting taps on the distribution lines. We have already seen in many areas, people tap the DC lines and they use electricity unauthorizedly. So we have to develop the system like this. Whenever someone puts some rod on the distribution line, so that should be detected. So that you can work. Also smart meterings you can use, smart meters, prepaid meters for the distribution side. like a mobile recharge. If you recharge, then and then you will get the electricity. If your recharge is finished, then automatically power supply from your home will be cut off. So that meters already installed, but you can work on this. There is a major development is going on the smart meters. Then you can go for the SMPS, switch mode power supplies, and VRLA batteries. In the battery area, now wall regulated lead acid batteries are there, and switch mode power supply chargers are there. So that technology is also, you can work on that. Then geomagnetic field harmonic impact in electrical power system. Whenever there are some earthquakes and some geographical changes happen, because of that changes in the electromagnetic field of the earth, that will create harmonics in the electrical power system. Then how we can mitigate those harmonics, that also one of the area you can work. Then forecasting and scheduling of RE, that already we discussed. Power storage smart technology. Now this storage capacity, people are working on this. That is a smart technology. So we can go for this storage of electricity of the renewable energy sources, that the power can be stored. So this is also one of the green area where you can work. Then hybrid multi-level voltage source converter, which are having a DC fault blocking capability, that hybrid multi-level converters that you can use. MMC, HVDC, new modulation, slowing frequency. Means switching frequency. We know that in any voltage source converter technology or modular multi-level converter, there are the switching of the devices in the range of more than 1000 hertz, sometimes 2000 or 3000 hertz. So we can reduce those frequencies so that switching losses will be less. So here also you can work. Then novel current control based voltage source converter topology suitable for power transmission application. Then PWM technique, pulse width modulation technique, you can use for the MMC based technology, modular multi-level converter, to reduce the switching losses. Then you can go for the control method for static VAR compensator based on modular multi-level inverters, voltage balancing limit in MMC or VSC, dynamic performance of VSC based bipolar HVDC, integrated current control of MMC. Particularly these topics are related to HVDC. So you can go for these technologies also. Harmonic optimization approaches in the new MMC, MMC based HVDC system for grid connection of offshore wind power plants. Now see, in the world, people are using the wind power, but by using the HVDC technology, and for grid integration. So as these sources are intermittent, so solar and these offshore wind or onshore wind, they are connected by using the voltage source converter technology or MMC also. So you can work in this area when we have to go for the grid connection. Modular multi-level converter topologies with DC short circuit limitations. These are some of the areas. Then we are having a application of DFIG, doubly fed induction generators. So these you can use like a controller, means your generator is having a feedback system. So where the power electronic, these inverters are used. So that you can use for the onshore and offshore wind power to harness in India. So doubly fed induction generators, this is also one of the area you can work with. Then different renewable energy sources, then there are integration you can do with the HVDC light technology. HVDC light means it is a voltage source converter based technology. Then bulk power transmission to metropolitan cities by HVDC light. Then study and simulation of multi-terminal MMC VSC HVDC. There is no MMC HVDC VSC HVDC link in the world which is having multi-terminal feature. So you can work in this area. Also you can work, we know that there is a one technology that is current source converter based and one technology is voltage source converter based in HVDC. So you can study, take the case of Padghe 400 kV. So at Padge 400 kV, the HVDC, that is a conventional HVDC that is based on thyristor, is already connected to that bus. And if I proposed, already Reliance has proposed one system that is based on the voltage source converter. So they have planned that VSC, how to connect with that same bus. So you can work on this area. Whenever we connect voltage source and current source converter to the same bus, what will be the impact in the power system? So that area you can work. Then dust and humidity issues of the thyristor walls when these are in indoor walls, that you can study. Replacement of thyristor with the IGBTs or emitter turn-off thyristors, emitter turn-off switches. Design of AC, DC side active filters, continue filters. So continue filter means one filter itself serves the purpose of all filters, that is continuously tuned filter, where the inductor is variable in nature. Otherwise in passive filter, RLC components are fixed. Then bird faults, there are so many bird faults happen in the HVDC area. So we can save the life of the birds if we work on this design of filters. So you can avoid that bird faults and save the life of birds. Then environmental and human health impacts of HVDC and EHV systems, how it will create impact on the environment and human health. So that you can study. SCADA and control protection system upgradation of HVDC. We already planned Chandrapur Padge HVDC project, that is upgradation is going on, control system, protection system and SCADA system. So you can work in this area also. Then enhancing the capacity of HVDC link. So we are having presently 1500 megawatt power transmission capability, but in future we are going to 2000 megawatt. So how the cooling system can be modified, what will be the changes, so that you can study. Then there is avoiding the problem of reduced voltage due to insulator flashover. When there is an insulator flashover on the DC line, there is a reduced voltage operation. How we can avoid that? Then role of HVDC, how blackouts can be avoided and how we can energize the grid after blackouts, that by using the HVDC, that in that area also you can work. Then you can do the case study on different types of faults, whatever happened up till now, so that you can study from 1998, what were the faults and how we can avoid it, that you can suggest. Then we are having, there are so many projects are there. So because time is also less and we have some question and answer session also. So these already I will share to all of you. So later on also you can go through these topics, and whatever difficulties and some you feel that you can, I'm giving my contact number, WhatsApp number, so that you can directly discuss with me. Whatever data you want from any utility, I will definitely help you from any utility, because I am in already from 16 years, I am in power sector. I am already in connection with power grid, some of the generating companies, transmission, DISCOMs. So there is no issue of data, but just you must have some willingness to do this practical work rather than any theoretical aspect. There are so many things like smart grid, super grid, international grid. So how will be the role of HVDC? Then can we use the HVDC vested power, that is harmonic power, for in HVDC filters? Can we use that power? So that also we can think over it. Then filter modification that we can do for birds life. Analysis of converter transformer failure. Converter transformer is so costly. One converter transformer is cost of 5 to 10 crores. So its failure is not economical, or it is a total loss for any company. So how to avoid these transformer failures? What are the reasons? So that area you can work. Then electromagnetic induction effect of the thyristor walls, how it will be and how we can minimize, that you can work. Then how converter transformer works during the reverse power flow of HVDC. Then HVDC city center application, that already we have seen. Impact of VSC and CST connected on the same grid. Smart grid in HVDC and HVDC in smart grid. Here also you can work. how these can be useful for each other. 800 kV HVDC, dedicated metallic return. This is the new technology where there is no requirement of grounding station. So directly you can put one metallic return path for this. Then voltage source converter HVDCs, that is for Indian power grid. Design of converter transformer, smoothing reactor, filters. These are some of the areas. Measuring devices, transformer-less HVDC, silicon carbide semiconductor-based HVDC walls, development of ELA technology for HVDC. Then new fault phase identification technique for overhead distribution system. Then novel auto transformer design, improving power system operation. Then relay based on Simulink, validation based on expert. So these are the so many areas are there. You can later on also go through it. There are so many areas. Application of PMUs in the power system with the FACS controller. Means you can use the FACS technology as well as PMUs at the same time in the power system. Then DC current blocking devices, faults using the wavelets HVDC system. Then we have steady state optimization power system with the series FACS devices. Any FACS technology you can use in the electrical power system. Then that is we have already seen. Phase shifting transformers into the grid. Then GIS mapping of the geographical information system, mapping of the transmission assets. Then high ampacity conductors for power transmission. That is the high current capacity conductors you can use for the power transmission. Already discussed camera design for the internal inspection of the transformer. Online dissolved gas analysis. You can develop a device that can online monitor the dissolved gases of the transformers. So that you can design one of the equipment. Then online tap changes of the transformers. Now in grid, actually no one is operating 400 kV taps. All they have kept all over India, they have kept in a offline, that is a manual mode. But how we can use those taps, online tap changes, how we can do, so that technology we can work with. Then fiber optic sensors, identification of transformer hotspots by fiber optic sensors you can use. Cyber security, we already, cyber security of Indian grids, how we can make it secured. Then forecasting, that we have already seen. Then some of the again areas where we can connect two substations like 220 kV Padghe and 220 kV Kalwa with the HVDC technology. Then we are having a voltage source converter based HVDC. Power sector, economics, regulation and restructuring. This is also one of the area after Electricity Act 2003. So this is also where you can work. Then operation and maintenance of all EHV levels, HVDC, then HVAC, that is heating, ventilation and air conditioning system. Then firefighting system operation and maintenance, that also you can go. Auxiliary system maintenance, modern trends in erection and commissioning of electrical equipments in generation, transmission and distribution. These are the modern trends. How we can reduce the commissioning period, erection, commissioning period, how we can reduce that by using the new technologies. Then REMCs, ADMS, automatic demand management system, unified real-time that is dynamic state measurement systems. So that we can use. Then modern trends in HVDC, advanced distribution management, how to manage the distribution side, demand side management you can do, grid operation and monitoring, EMS, then HVDC transmission, past and present, emerging technologies of power systems, operation and energy management. There are so many topics like communication, VSAT, that is a VSAT hub we can install. Then strengthening of the grid by HVDC, light. Then grid energization after blackout by HVDC technology. Then challenges, issues, remedies relating to the development of offshore wind power in India. Offshore wind forecasting by support vector machine. This is one of the method we can use for the forecasting. Then offshore wind speed forecasting by SVM and power integration by HVDC. Site matching of offshore wind turbines. Cascade H-level, multi-level inverter based D-STATCOM. You can develop the D-STATCOM, that is distribution STATCOM, or transmission STATCOM, that is known as T-STATCOM. These are the FACT devices. So this is also one of the emerging technologies for the power quality improvement. Then you can compare three utilities like MSETCL, GETCO from Gujarat, MSETCL from Maharashtra, and Power Grid from, that is central transmission utility. So you can compare the performance, their performance. So for the better improvement, then reduction of that we have already seen, communication architectures, smart grid. These are some of the topics. You can later on also go through it. Evolving technologies in microgrid, operations and control, design and development of intelligent grid architecture for energy security within microgrid, mini grid, super grids, so that you can, these are the some of the areas here where you can work. Then we are having communication and control technologies for demand response, including wireless sensors, cloud computing, cyber security, and wide area monitoring, that is WAMS. These are the some of the architecture design of various optical options for smart grid. Then engineering economics analysis, assessment of energy storage options for utility scale of off-grid system, multidisciplinary design of optimization of advanced NAS and sodium metal halide battery systems, and smart power flow control, SPFC, strategy driven by information, communication and control ICT using PMU signals. So fax controller, there are so many systems. Integrated energy storage, wind and solar energy interface with the VSC HVDC, dynamic monitoring based PMU system. Then EMS, energy management system, wide area management system. Then grid assessment tools, standardizing data from multiple sources of comparison. Then distributed energy resources, modern technologies and web of interconnected devices, sensors and digital communication in smart grids. So these are some of the topics already we have discussed. So these are our future webinars. I already given some webinars previously. So that is available on website also. And in future, these are some of the webinars which will delivering in future. So this is my contact number, and this is a WhatsApp number. So you can write down it. And now you are free to discuss. Now I will ask to all of you to unmute, and we will having a interaction session. Now you can discuss your projects, any topics you want, some guidance. So definitely we can provide the guidance. Now you are all are unmuted. You can unmute yourself and you can ask your queries. So anyone has queries?
Hi, sir. It's Ganesh Gauri.
Yeah.
Sir, I want to ask a small question.
Yeah.
Sir, like we have gone through all the project topics. So I want to ask, there's any project like in solar, big solar power plants, like in megawatts, like we say 100 megawatts or something large scale. They always go for AC technology.
Yeah.
Is there any project or is there is any implementation of this HVDC technology for evacuation of this power to the substation? Like solar plants are located at really remote locations, right? So from there we take power towards the areas where power is been needed. Like evacuation,
Yeah.
most of the projects we done in AC level, like high voltage AC.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
there is any scope for using DC in that area?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Already in European countries, they have already developed this VSC-based HVDC transmission to harness the solar power. So there are the wind, that is that is solar farms are there. So they connect the common output of that to the DC. That is there is a rectifier station at the local substation level, and that power is converted and that is supplied to the grid. So that already there. So you can go through the net and you will get the details of that. And if you want some help, I can.
Sir, but what would be the voltage level for that?
For any level you can go there. That is the HT level, high tension level. You can go for that because this voltage source converter technology works with the power transformers. So power transformer you can use for any level. There is no issue. Yeah. Any other queries?
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you. Any other participants? Already I have given my contact number details, so you can later on also contact. And still if you have query, you can ask. Any other participants? You can unmute yourself and freely, it's a freely discussion. So it's an open platform for all of you. So please feel free.
Yeah, sir. One more question from my side.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Ganesh, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, like in AC system for evacuation and all the grid, like for substation, we have earthing pits and those provided.
Yeah.
And in HVDC, as you said, a separate technology we have to use. So I want a clarification on that. Like for earthing, what kind of technology we required? Whether it is similar to AC or there are certain changes for earthing or grounding system, like for transient voltages, or what we say like lighting protection system, whether it is a bit similar to AC or there are very different kinds of technology for high voltage DC systems.
Yeah. See, whenever we are talking about HVDC substation equipments, substation is having we have earthing mat, which is inside the ground. So earthing mat, all our equipments in AC and DC switchyard, all are connected to that. But for the DC, whenever we operate HVDC link, whether it is in bipolar or monopolar mode, so we must require that return current. And if it is a bipolar system, we are having, we can say, there is always voltage difference between the positive pole and negative pole. So there must be some, there is some current, that is differential current always flow through the ground. If that current I cannot pass to my local substation because DC has the property of corrosion. And it started with the corrosion, later on it erodes the material, means the material of the earthing system itself eaten by the DC. So there you will not get the perfect grounding for our substation equipments. So what we do in HVDC, we choose the location where the soil resistivity is less. There is a continuous watering arrangement, like nearest to that there may be sea or any channel or any river near to it, so that the conductivity of that region will be maintained. So we have to choose area like that. These are some of the conditions. And we have to design that electrostation where you will have around the diameter of that 250 meters dia of the electrode station. so that the DC current, whenever actually complete its path, it should go through the ground. I cannot ground that DC current here because it will corrode all my earthing system. So I have to choose location beyond 20 to 25 kilometer. So for that, specially designed, these electrode stations are used where there is a most of, we can say, 250-meter area, mostly they use, and away more than 20 kilometer, so that this DC current can be grounded easily for the power transmission particularly. And during fault also, the fault current flows through that electrodes. So that is something different technology which is used for the earthing in HVDC.
And do we need lightning protections system like lightning arresters?
Lightning arresters are ZNO, that is normal lightning arresters, but it's a insulation level, then that is a different, it's a design is different whenever, because inside the thyristor walls we are having lightning arresters, then at the DC level, AC side, we have the lightning arresters. So something we can say insulation is strong and all those things. So ZNO are used.
And sir, for like for simulation of AC circuit, we can go for ETAP software.
Yeah.
Okay. Like suppose I want to design certain load flow analysis or short circuit analysis, I can go with ETAP. So for HVDC, we have certain different software for analysis or simulation. We can perform it on.
In ETAP also you can work with, but the most good software for this is a PSCAD, Power System Computer Aided Design, PSCAD. So that is one of the best that is software for the DC applications.
Design.
Yeah.
Okay.
Any other queries from other participants? I am expecting queries from all of you. It's a general discussion. Anyone can participate. There is no issue. Please, anyone? Already many students are working under me. I have guided so many projects. So already data and these are not any issue. We can provide the field data, practical data to you. So there is no issue, but just you work on it. And I have already good contacts with many institutions also. So we can work jointly on this. And I'm requesting to attend all the webinars because you will get too much ideas from this. Your concept will be clear, because then you will come to know the different ideas, how we can again use different technologies at different applications. So I'm requesting to attend that also. So any other participants they want to ask? Any other queries? So if you are not joined the WhatsApp group, please WhatsApp your number on this, and you will be part of this group, and you will get all this data there also, and all the updates of webinars you will get there. So thanks to all of you having a participation in today's webinar on online. That is guidance regarding projects, seminars, and dissertation, thesis, etc. So thanks to all of you. Still, you have some queries, you can ask me. Any queries to anyone? Still, you can ask. If you have some language barriers, then you can ask in Hindi or Hindi also. There is no issue. If you feel some language barrier, they can use in Hindi also. If there are no queries, then should we end this session today? I think there are no queries. So you can later on also, you can personally WhatsApp or call me. And if you want some guidance, definitely I will help you. There is no issue. So once again, heartily thanks to all of you. So we will pause this today's meeting here.